Zhejiang villagers reported for keeping cobras, release thousands, causing panic in the village. Typhoon Haikui moves to Guangdong, Shenzhen issues red alert, entire city enters emergency state. Typhoon Haikui affected 1.59 million people in Fujian and caused economic losses of more than $682 million. Survey: nearly 90% of Chinese firms want to go global to seek business opportunities. The comprehensive decline of China's sports sector, analysis of signs indicating the waning fortunes of the CCP. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Zhejiang villagers reported for keeping cobras, release thousands, causing panic in the village. On September 6, numerous videos circulated online showing a sudden influx of numerous cobra snakes in the vicinity of Beimatang village in Shenzhen town, Jiaxing, Zhejiang. This occurrence triggered panic among the villagers. In the videos, snakes of various sizes could be seen appearing in the fields, on the roads, and even in villagers' homes and courtyards. Local authorities are organizing personnel to capture the snakes, and some areas have set up warning lines. Many cobras have been captured. According to local internet users, one household in Beimatang village kept over 1,000 cobras for profit. Due to being reported by neighbors for unauthorized breeding, in a fit of anger, they released all of them, resulting in a proliferation of venomous snakes throughout the area. Some internet users disclosed that local police and firefighters were dispatched to catch the snakes but have only captured some small ones, with the larger ones still at large. Local villagers are concerned that if these snakes don't perish in the winter, they will multiply significantly in the wild next spring, posing a major threat. Related information has gone viral online. Local authorities, for the sake of maintaining stability, hastily issued a statement to dispel rumors, claiming that the news of villagers being reported for releasing cobras was untrue and that it was only a small number of young snakes that had escaped from a breeding facility, and that it has been dealt with. However, most internet users are skeptical of the official explanation. Some local internet users revealed that the authorities are just trying to downplay the situation, as there are too many snakes, and as of the 7th, they were still being captured, indicating that it's an unending task. Typhoon Haikui moves to Guangdong, Shenzhen issues red alert, entire city enters emergency state. After weakening into a tropical low-pressure system, Typhoon Haikui brought heavy rainfall over a wide area where it made landfall. After wreaking havoc in Fujian province, heavy rain spread to Guangdong province, Shenzhen, and other areas. Throughout September 7, Guangdong issued the highest-level red rainstorm warning signals in many areas. On the night of September 7, Shenzhen issued a red rainstorm warning, declaring an emergency defense state against heavy rain citywide, and Waning initiated a Level 1 flood response, opening 151 indoor emergency shelters. Due to the impact of the heavy rain, severe waterlogging occurred in the central area of Waning, Shenzhen, prompting the emergency evacuation of personnel from the ground floor, basement, and severely affected areas. Videos shared by netizens show floodwater inundating the underground parking lot of Waning Central Plaza, with vehicles submerged. Emergency water release at Shenzhen Reservoir. On September 8, the Shenzhen Municipal Flood Control, Drought Prevention, and Wind Prevention Headquarters issued an announcement stating that the water level at Shenzhen Reservoir had reached near the flood limit and water discharge began at 0:15 on September 8, with a discharge rate of 70 to 80 cubic meters per second. Residents in the Fujian district, Luohu district, and Waning district were advised to stay away from river areas. A Weibo user captured the scene of flooding in front of their residential area and mentioned that their neighborhood had experienced water and power outages. Some netizens reported that their campsites were submerged. Photos taken by a netizen showed the contrast between Shenzhen Waning River before and after flooding. After the flooding, the steps were no longer visible. One netizen shared multiple photos of a restaurant flooded by water. Following Shenzhen, Guangzhou entered a state of high alert for heavy rains citywide. The Guangzhou Meteorological Observatory upgraded the Lutian heavy rain orange warning signal to red at 1940 on September 7. As previously reported, in late July of this year, multiple reservoirs in Beijing released water without warning, causing severe damage in Zhejiang, all in the name of protecting Beijing and the Xiongnu area in Hebei. Critics argue that unannounced water releases and flooding have become a standard practice for the Chinese Communist authorities. On July 20, 2021, Zhengzhou released water without warning, leading to catastrophic flooding in low-lying areas of Zhengzhou. Several subway tunnels were inundated, resulting in significant casualties. However, the authorities concealed the actual death toll. Furthermore, in Guangdong, whenever there is heavy rainfall, the authorities tend to release water from reservoirs to relieve pressure. Local residents are outraged, asserting that the so-called once-in-a-century floods every year are, in fact, artificially induced. According to the CCP's flood control law, when reservoirs exceed their capacity, floodwater may be temporarily redirected to so-called retention and detention areas. These areas are typically low-lying, including some densely populated regions. According to official data, China currently has 98 national retention and detention areas covering an approximate total area of 34,000 square kilometers. Some warn that the Chinese people should be cautious, as these 98 national retention and detention areas could potentially be used by authorities to release water and artificially create flood disasters. Typhoon Haikui affected 1.59 million people in Fujian and caused economic losses of more than $682 million. The impact of Typhoon Haikui has been significant, affecting approximately 1.59 million people and causing direct economic losses exceeding 5 billion yuan, about $682.2 million. These floodwaters submerged vehicles and deluged underground parking facilities. Many businesses and residential buildings in the city found themselves besieged by the rising waters, while landslides occurred in the suburbs. Due to the persistent heavy rainfall, 4,453 construction sites remain closed in Fujian province. Additionally, 8 waterway passenger transport services, 3 coastal inter-island passenger ferries, 48 inland river ferries, and 713 highway passenger transport routes have been suspended. Fuzhou Airport cancelled 132 flights, and Quanzhou Zhejiang Airport cancelled 2 flights. Fuzhou Railway Station suspended 219.5 pairs of trains. It wasn't until 12 o'clock local time on the 6th that bus services and subways in Fuzhou City resumed operations. Preliminary statistics indicate that, as of 1700 hours on September 6, at least 9,949 hectares of crops in Fujian province were affected by the typhoon, and approximately 2,537 houses have either collapsed or sustained damage. Further assessments are underway to quantify the full extent of the disaster's impact. Data from the China Central Meteorological Observatory reveals that the maximum hourly rainfall in Fuzhou has shattered previous records set by the formidable Typhoon Longwang. Nevertheless, the extent of casualties from Typhoon Haikui remains uncertain. Furthermore, allegations have arisen that the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, authorities may have restricted victims from documenting the disaster by forbidding the use of mobile phones to capture images in the affected areas. Additionally, accounts providing live broadcasts from the disaster-stricken region were reportedly shut down. Some online commentators have expressed cynical views, suggesting that silencing those who raise concerns is the most expedient way to address the problem. Furthermore, the sweltering conditions in many northern areas have dissipated, giving way to a significant temperature drop, setting new autumnal lows. Survey: nearly 90% of Chinese firms want to go global to seek business opportunities. China's economy is facing a sharp decline, prompting mainland companies to explore the possibility of relocating. In a recent survey, a staggering 83.9% of Chinese firms interviewed reported grappling with a multitude of challenges. Furthermore, nearly 90% of Chinese firms express their intentions to expand internationally, with over 60% favoring the professional services available in Hong Kong for this endeavor. On September 5, the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, TDC, released a comprehensive report titled Hong Kong, the premier choice for mainland enterprises seeking global expansion opportunities under One Belt, One Road and RCEP. This report is based on surveys conducted between May and July of this year, involving 791 mainland companies, primarily concentrated in the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area and the Yangtze River Delta region. These surveys aim to assess the current international expansion strategies of these firms and the hurdles they face. The findings revealed that a staggering 83.9% of the surveyed Chinese companies are grappling with an array of challenges. These challenges include geopolitical tensions, insufficient market demand, and difficulties in securing financing. Furthermore, nearly 90% of the companies express their intentions to go global and engage in international business activities within the next 1 to 3 years. Breaking down their international ambitions, it was observed that 71.6% of these enterprises aim to expand their operations in the 14 member countries of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, RCEP, beyond China's borders. Additionally, 64.3% of the firms are eyeing opportunities in other regions connected to the Belt and Road Initiative and emerging markets, including the Middle East, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, South America, and Africa. Moreover, 45% of these enterprises are considering entry into the United States and Canada, while 30% are willing to venture into advanced nations such as the United Kingdom and Germany. Notably, the survey results indicate a significant uptick in the preference for professional service support in Hong Kong, with 62.1% of companies expressing this choice, marking a 12% increase since the 2019 survey. In contrast, 47.7% of enterprises opt for services within different provinces and cities across mainland China. Fan Weiner, the Trade Development Council's research director, has emphasized Hong Kong's pivotal role as a superconnector in facilitating the global expansion endeavors of mainland enterprises. These enterprises aim to tap into business prospects presented by the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, the Belt and Road Initiative, and various overseas markets. In terms of their global expansion strategies, companies focused on going global primarily intend to expand their presence in 4 key areas: logistics and transportation, 28.8%, marketing and sales, 26.9%, investment and establishing overseas facilities, 23.3%, and international procurement, 15.9%. The comprehensive decline of China's sports sector, analysis of signs indicating the waning fortunes of the CCP. Sports have been a crucial platform for the Chinese government to showcase its supposed great national strength and a tool to exploit for stoking patriotic sentiments. However, in 2023, China's sports arena has repeatedly stumbled in international competitions, leaving the CCP unable to rely on sports to maintain its image. China's men's basketball faces tough times. On August 29, with the words "Goodbye, my beloved basketball," Chinese basketball legend Yi Jianlian officially bid farewell to the basketball world. Amidst the sorrow, regret, sadness, and disappointment of fans, some exclaimed that China's men's basketball team no longer has a guiding light. Meanwhile, the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup is underway in the Philippines. On August 26, the second day of the tournament, China's men's basketball team suffered a 63-105 defeat to Serbia in the opening round of the group stage. On the 28th, they were handed another humiliating loss, this time by a margin of 20 points, to South Sudan, a country that only formed its men's basketball team less than 2 years ago. Just a day after Yi Jianlian's retirement announcement, China's men's basketball team suffered a 89-107 loss to Puerto Rico. 3 consecutive losses in the group stage, with a total point differential of 80, resulted in the worst performance in China's men's basketball history in 33 years. Their hopes of advancing to the round of 16 and securing a direct spot in the Paris Olympics have become even more dim. For years, Yi Jinlian has been the leader of the team, often referred to as the fig leaf of Chinese basketball. Now, with Yao Ming saying goodbye, that fig leaf has been removed. China's team failed to defend any titles in the 2023 Track and Field World Championships. In 2023, not only did men's basketball take a dive back to the 1990s, but the entire Chinese sports arena experienced an unprecedented cold spell. The 2023 Budapest Athletics World Championships concluded on August 27. In the medal standings, the United States topped the list with 12 gold, 8 silver, and 9 bronze medals. Canada and Spain each secured 4 gold medals. In contrast, China's team only managed to secure 2 bronze medals, marking its worst performance in 20 years. China lagged behind India, the Philippines, and Pakistan. This is the worst performance by the Chinese team since the 2003 Paris Athletics World Championships. Furthermore, China's ranking in the Asian region dropped to 6th place. Notably, during the World University Games held in Chengdu in early August, the Chinese track and field team won 10 gold, 8 silver, and 7 bronze medals, leading all participating teams. In the span of a month, the tables have turned dramatically, leading some to exclaim that it feels like a return to the 1970s, with China's athletics championship being sent back to square one. China's women's soccer team fails to advance past group stage for the first time in World Cup history. On the evening of August 1st, the Hindmarsh Stadium in Adelaide, Australia, was brightly lit as the third round of the Women's World Cup group match was underway. However, amidst the enthusiastic cheers, the result was a devastating 1-6 loss for China against England, marking China's biggest defeat in Women's World Cup history and the highest number of goals conceded in a single match. This marks the first time in the history of China's participation in the Women's World Cup that they have been eliminated in the group stage, failing even to reach the round of 16. Mainland media has dubbed this match as the most humiliating defeat in the history of China's women's soccer, tarnishing their reputation. Dark times for women's singles badminton. With no hope left for China's women's soccer, all eyes turn to Chen Yufei, the top sister, in the Badminton World Championships held in Copenhagen, Denmark on August 21. China's badminton has gone 12 years without winning a championship at the World Championships, a blemish on the records of every badminton player. Chen Yufei had previously swept her opponents with 10 consecutive victories at the Indonesia Badminton Open in June, boosting her confidence. However, at the World Championships, she was defeated by 21-year-old South Korean player In Seong. A Sohu article published on August 28 expressed that China's women's singles badminton is experiencing its darkest period. If they fail to secure the championship once again, the confidence of the badminton team may be shattered. What's happening in Chinese sports? Why aren't athletes performing as well as they did in the past? In response to these questions, Zhi, a Chinese political commentator based in the United States, stated on September 2 in an interview with the Epoch Times, "Sports represent youth, health, and vitality. The core of sportsmanship is fair competition and friendly respect. These values are hard to find in China's sports competitions today. The sports arena is corrupt from top to bottom, morally bankrupt. Competitions are for fame, fortune, and political agendas." Zhi continued, "The systemic corruption of the Chinese Communist Party is evident in the sports world as well. In this distorted and abnormal environment, people cannot have spirit, let alone beliefs. Consequently, various forms of resignation, the inability to rise, and lack of motivation manifest. The Chinese Communist Party places great importance on using national sports to boost the country's fortune. However, now that sports are experiencing a broad decline, it's also a sign that the Chinese Communist Party's fortunes are waning." Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.